Alright, thank you, moderator, for inviting us. I am Insani Naufal with my friends here, Tita, Tauziatul, Farida, Fera, and Agung Irfantri. We would like to present our research entitled Asynchronous versus Synchronous Students' Preference of Online Learning in EFL Classrooms. All right, for the first one, let's discuss about the introduction of our research. So the issue of our research, there is the exploration of effective learning methods because of the essential English language proficiency in a variety of academic and professional contexts, and also the demand for using technology in EFL is very high. And then our focus is to investigate the preferences of EFL students and the impact of this preference on their learning outcomes. And then there is a gap in our research, which is lacked a focus on students' preferences because according to Friska 2021, have explored on only the effectiveness and support offered by these methods. All right, we are moving on to the research question. We only have one question in our research, which is what are the students' preferences for synchronous versus asynchronous online learning methods in EFL classroom? And then, pardon. Our research question is, the research objective is to investigate students' preferences for synchronous and asynchronous online learning methods in EFL classroom. All right, for the next is about literature review and the methodology will be delivered by Tita. Tita, please.
All right, Insani, thank you for your opportunity. So the literature that appears in this section is, of course, about our main topic. It's about asynchronous and synchronous. According to MIT 2020 categorizes online learning in 3 different ways. For the first, the second is asynchronous, and the last is hybrid. Synchronous learning environments provide real-time interaction, which can be collaborate in nature incorporating e-activities. Is from Salmon 2013, such as an instructor's lecture with a facility of question-answer session. While asynchronous teaching methods are known for their convenience, individual pacing, and flexibility, they are also characterized by spontaneity and interpersonal interaction. And lastly, hybrid combines the two between asynchronous and synchronous. Next, please. So for the next part, we have a methodology here. So for the method, we are using a mixed method approach. According to George 2023, the mixed method approach provides a comprehensive understanding of the research question through both numerical and descriptive data. The settings from this research are at a university in Tasikmalaya, Indonesia, with 55 participants for the quantitative data and 1 participant that we choose from the survey result for the qualitative data. So, and for the demographics from the participants are from undergraduate EFL student with first year to 4th year students, and age range from 18 to 24 years old. We use surveys and semi-structured interview for collecting the data, and for surveys we have 10 questions for each group in asynchronous or synchronous, and for semi-structured interview we have 11 questions for the participants. Then we analyze the data using descriptive statistics for the quantitative data and Miles and Haberman's model for the qualitative data. Okay, I think it's enough. For the next material will be delivered by Tripera. To Tripera, please.
Thank you, Tita. I'll take over from here. So moving on to the interesting part, which is the research findings and discussion part. But first, let's dive into the demographic characteristic of our participants. So as Tita mentioned in previous part of our methodology, our quantitative study included a total of 55 participants. As you can see from the table, the majority of our participants fall within the 20 to 25 age group, which is 63%, and the remaining of the participants are below 20 years old. Then when we look at the year of the study, we see that the most participants are in their second year, making up 36 participants. 35, followed by first and then third and then fourth year students. We also examine the frequency of online learning participation among our respondents. The data shows that the majority of our participants often engage in online learning. So with this demographic insight, let's move to the next slide. Let's have a look to our quantitative key result. So we assess several factors using a Likert scale 1 to 4. Our focus here is on the effectiveness, interaction, better academic outcomes, and satisfaction of both online learning methods, synchronous and asynchronous methods. So for the synchronous method, regarding effectiveness, 92.8% of the participants agree and strongly agree that it is effective. Meanwhile, only 4 participants disagree and strongly disagree. Next, the total of 80% of the participants strongly agree that asynchronous learning facilitated their better interaction among peers and instructor. On the other hand, only 20% of the participants disagree and strongly disagree. Next, to the better academic outcomes, 46 participants, or 83.6%, agree and strongly agree. Yet 16.3% of the participants disagree and strongly disagree. And lastly, on the overall satisfaction, 85.4% agreeing and strongly agreeing, and only 8 participants disagree and strongly disagree. Moving on, for the next is asynchronous method. Effectiveness in here looks a little bit tight. 52.8% agree and strongly agree, and 47.3% disagree and strongly disagree. Interaction scores for the asynchronous learning were lower. 25 participants says agree and strongly agree. Meanwhile, 30 participants disagree and strongly disagree. Next, 26 participants agree and strongly agree that asynchronous could improve their English language skills. However, 29 participants disagree and strongly disagree. And finally, for the overall satisfaction with synchronous learning was moderate, 45.5% agree and strongly agree, and 54.6% disagree and strongly disagree. So in summary, synchronous learning was generally preferred by our participants. A total of 92.8% found that synchronous learning is more effective compared to only 52.8% for asynchronous learning. This suggests that synchronous method might be more engaging and effective for most students. Now I will hand it over to Agung Irfantri for our qualitative findings and the conclusion of our study. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Fera. Let's continue to the qualitative result. So the quantitative results is in line with the qualitative feedback, indicating a preference for synchronous learning. One respondent expressed this by stating, "In my opinion, synchronous is a more effective method because learning is not much different from face-to-face classes, where teachers and students can interact interactively." Let's move on to the conclusion and suggestion. In conclusion, first, synchronous learning is preferred due to its perceived effectiveness in understanding English topics and facilitating real-time interaction. Second, asynchronous learning offers flexibility, but it's viewed as less effective and engaging. So consider students' preference when designing online learning. By prioritizing synchronous learning, educators can increase student engagement, satisfaction, and academic success. And for this suggestion, we have two. First, for teachers, you can leverage technology, foster interaction, provide clear instruction, blend learning methods, and professional development. Second, for future research, you can focus on exploring the effectiveness of blend learning or combining synchronous and synchronous elements. So that's all the presentation from our group. Back to the moderator. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the first group. That was such an informative presentation, and it's very interesting topic to begin our